Hello friends, I came here to show you the official list of the universe of the 50 best songs of 2023. This is not up to debate. This is the official list of the universe and therefore you cannot argue against it. And if you do... Absolutely nothing, because we live in a free world and there's no such thing as official list of the best songs of 2023 because everyone has the right to have their own opinion and it's okay to dislike songs that other people... Okay, it's now time for me to share my favorite songs from all releases I've heard this year. Be it albums, EPs, standalone singles, or everything else. Same rules as always. One song per artist, and songs from 2022 can appear if they're from a 2023 release and I haven't heard them in that year. Now, enough of this chit chat. Let's get some grub doing. I heard of Iron Tone for the first time seconds before seeing them live, as they opened for the Red Hot Chili Peppers here, and in the promotional material of the concert there was no opening act announced. The show was cool, so I decided to check some of their music after I got home, and I thought they were better live than in the studio. But a couple of their tracks still stood out to me, Narcissist in particular, with its very fun chorus and a sing-along nature. I listened to Lorraine's previous album when it came out, and I was underwhelmed. So I didn't have high hopes for the second one. Thankfully, it was leagues better, and this track is a perfect example of her going in the right direction. Amaarae is one of those musicians that doesn't have one of my favorite voices around, but her music's quality more than makes up for it. This song especially, catchy in the best way possible. Y'all can't mess with the club. The album the song is from is shot full of bangers. It was even hard to deciding on a track for this list. Club Sandwich only takes it because of the guitar riffs, that I'm 100% sure are sampled, but I can't tell right now from where. God, those bass boosts. Imagine putting this at max volume in a car and going through the city causing havoc. On GTA, of course. My Back Was a Bridge for You to Cross was one of the most emotionally captivating albums of 2023, and the rest combines all that emotion with one of the best progressions of the year. I'm a sucker for songs that spend their entire runtime building up to a massive release at the end, and this one does that flawlessly. The Hispanics watching this probably are hating me for including this one over any Hispanic song that came out this year, but yeah, it's difficult for me to say no to a Hooverphonic track, even if it's kinda corny. These guys have a hold on me. How ironic that the best song Roscher dropped this year was the only song from the preview EP that ended up being cut from the actual album. Y'all that worked on this album need to review your concepts of good music. I hate when great art comes from suffering, because it fuels the belief that this is necessary to make great art, which is wrong, but there are examples like this one that make it hard to defend my point. After a train wreck of a previous album, the folks from Supercombo finally got back on track, and this was clear from the get-go of the album, as this opening track is absolutely electrifying. You know how sometimes you listen to the material of a certain band and you can just tell that they are in their creative peak? Well, Big Thief is certainly in theirs right now. Congratulations to Paranoid for being one of the few shoegaze artists that I find listenable. This song only doesn't rank higher because its structure is too similar to Beautiful World, which is also a better song in general. I miss this kind of gnarly, twisted style for Queens of the Stone Age's music. What a great return to form this was. I know I can't give Grammys to artists all willy-nilly, but if I could, this would win Best Run Performance. Is this even a real category? I don't care, it is now. Hey, turns out even in his solo material, Grian can certainly pack a punch with his music. Also, for the love of God, shave that chest. What happens when you combine two bold and creative artists in one EP? Well, we get an EP that was difficult AF to pick an entry, and the one song I chose was simply because it got stuck in my head the most. Every Yves Tumor project has at least one song that simply blows my mind. Last time, it was Gospel for a New Century. This time, it's this one. If you think Corinne Raye is just put your records on, y'all need to give a try on this new album first and see how dead wrong you are. Especially this fantastic opening track. This is Black Puma's best song, and it's not even close. Just listen to that guitar, my man! Hey there, darling, won't you love me down? I'm 50. Country is pretty up there in the list of genres that I just can't get into. So seeing that Zach Bryan managed to get me with one track is a major achievement for the genre. The rest of the album didn't work for me though, sorry. Here's a tip for life. Listen to more music from F.E.M.A.L.E. Sounds oddly specific, but trust me, you'll be thanking me later. A$AP Rock keeps getting his pieces back together his way, and every time he does that, he just nails it all like it's a regular Sunday. That's what I call consistency. Okay, now when Macaulay Dixon will reach the mainstream. I mean, he deserves it, doesn't he? Fun fact, ASO's self-titled was the last album I heard for my 2023 rankings. It was already 2024 when I did that. Seems like the last will be the first this time. Ukandanz, I hope I'm saying this right, is one of those bands that I seriously don't get how the music nerd circle doesn't worship. They're an experimental jazz rock band with a traditional Ethiopian singer that just puts out so many bangers in every new album. This is a field day to these people. And I'm on my champagne shit. I know this felt way more basic in comparison to what Janelle Monaé usually puts out, but I don't care. You don't have to be audacious all the time to put out great music. One of the most addictive jazz rock tracks of this year, from one of the best albums of the year. I need to listen to more bad cover stuff ASAP. It was hard to decide between this and Knockoff for this list, but since I tend to like Poppy's heavier material, this one fills the gap way better. Gorgeous track. Here's a group worth standing, K-poppers. Like you guys say... Have you listened to that bass? That's the good stuff! Oh, and the rest of the album is phenomenal too. Watch out for that one in my albums list. 2023 was a slept-on year for jazz, and we need to talk more about the many masterpieces the world of jazz has dropped to us, like the previous entry and this one. Posthumous Song of the Year. Even at her very end, Elsa was still as provocative as ever. See? That's what I'm talking about! This year was too good for jazz! This has to be one of the most visceral performances of the year. Bloody brilliant track here. One of the danciest and vibiest tracks 2023 has gave us. Hearing the singer going "ow" gives me the same excitement of a dog after his owner calls him for a walk. K-pop Song of the Year. This would probably be in my top 10 if it wasn't for the corny ass whistle in the second verse. But 15 is still pretty good. This is probably the most surprising cut to be appearing this up in this list, but Flowers just screams era-defining hit song to me. I seriously hope this thing doesn't get forgotten, because I genuinely think this is one of Miley's best songs. Hey, Vinny, go throw a party at Tomodachi Live to celebrate that you made one of the best songs of the year, and probably the best track I've ever heard from a content creator that's normally not associated with music. I strongly believe Fall Out Boy would never be able to recover from the Young and Menace fiasco, but alas, they came out of this on top, releasing their best song since the 2000s, the ultimate fuck go back moment. This is the best usage of text-to-speech since the Rafflecopter. Maybe I should learn some more with them. Inaugurating this year's top 10, we have one of Dorian Electra's most bombastic tracks. And if you know their discography, then you know this is no small feat. Another contender for comeback of the year was Everything But The Girl, who in the first week of January 2023 released this phenomenal track as a pretty intense omen to show how insane for music this year would be.
This could be the best damn day.
If you're watching this, pause this video right now and go listen to this track. And then, reflecting how unfair it is that this song isn't one of the biggest hits of the year. Shame on you, music industry. Another release I originally missed and only got to at the end of the year was Debbie Friday's debut album. That holy crap, this song alone got me head over heels for her stuff. Can't wait to see what she released next. This song is the first in this year's leads, which is basically a way of me saying that this and all the upcoming tracks were the main contenders for Song of the Year to me. Lost was the song that got everyone's attention when Linkin Park dropped the unreleased cuts from Meteora this year, but Healing Foot to me was the one song that I could 100% see being in Meteora, and being one of the best songs of that album. So thankful to finally have access to this masterpiece. Danger Mouse is really just a master when it comes to producing hip-hop tracks. And it also helps that Gemini lands one of the most infectious hooks of the year. This is my hip-hop song of the year, by the way. One of the loudest and most anthemic songs of the year. Kinda surprised it wasn't released as a single, considering how memorable it is. Imagine this thing live. I don't know if this, the Jordan, and ASO being here is a sign that trip hop is finally rebirthing from the ashes. But if that's the case, ooh mama. I am 100% ready for the second wave of trip hop in this world, with these three being the trailblazers. And here we have the most biased entry in this list, considering my passion for Graveyard and everything they do. But I mean, even without that, this is undoubtedly one of the best songs of the year. Plus the whole build up with a massive release at the end also boosted the song for me so much. Ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between. Now it's time for 20 honorable mentions. So, in alphabetical order, here they are. I pretty much spent the entire last 2 months of the year deciding my number one song, between Tears Can Be So Soft and No Way Out. I was certain it was going to be one of these two, but as the final weeks of selection went by, I realized the answer wasn't one nor the other, but it was there for me the whole time. And for one last time in this video, this year was so fucking good for jazz! I've talked in my channel before about how my favorite kind of jazz is the apocalyptic one. And given that the title of this track is literally a taste of the apocalypse, it probably gives an obvious hint to the kind of jazz this is. But honestly, not really. It's certainly a very epic and grand piece of jazz music. And while it's somewhat apocalyptic, it brings up a lot of interesting moments, for once. The verses are relatively calm, but they're clearly building up to the bursts that only happen in the chorus, and every moment of this track just feels so well put together that I have a pretty wide list of praises here. The horns are absolutely phenomenal, the verses are suspenseful and engaging, the chorus feels magical and omnipotent, the instrumental bridge is stunning, and nearly every instrument in the mix gets a moment to shine in this part. There is a lot to unpack in this relatively simple track that doesn't go too out of the box for jazz standards, but you can't tell me this isn't one of the most powerful tracks of this year. The only complaint I have here is that I wish the song had a more developed ending instead of ending somewhat abruptly, but that's a minor thing for this case. The core of the track is so powerful that I can easily forgive that, and for that, A Taste of the Apocalypse by Monika Roscher Bigband is my favorite song of 2023. Thanks for watching.